What's up, guys? Hump day, testing week. Let's get right into it with cleans and pull-ups. So all pulling work today. We're gonna start with 3 minutes of warm-up pace cardio on the first round, 2 minutes of warm-up pace cardio on the second round. So a total of 5 minutes. We should get nice and loose before we start into the movement. We have done cleans very lightly for the last 2 days. So my goal with that is that we have really prepped the movement pattern of the clean, whether you're doing a power clean or a squat clean, and we're ready to go with a heavier lift on that today. When you're done with your cardio, we're gonna get some toe touch to overhead reaches. So nice and gentle here, but reach your toes or reach your hands all the way to the sky, get up on your toes, tuck your chin as you're going down. So we're really like loosening up all of the tissue and the muscles on the backside of your spine, right? Next one is some straddle roll-ups. So for this one, we'll go to the ground and I'm rolling, right? So I'm practicing sitting up, rolling back up on my shoulders, split my feet apart and pick a side. So I'll go left, roll back, pick a side and roll right, okay? Get that 4 reps on each side. Then we're going into a side plank. Right, so 30 seconds on each side. When we do a side plank, try to have your torso vertical. Try really hard not to be reaching down towards the ground with that top hand, but keep that shoulders and hips perpendicular to the ground for 30 seconds. And then we'll get up to the bar, and we're doing that on each side, right? Kips and scap pull-ups. This is our complex for warming up the rotator cuff and the scapular positioning muscles, which is how we stabilize and prep the shoulders for a lot of pulling. Okay, so kips, forward reverse. Think about how far my head goes in front of and behind, and my head is kind of moving opposite from my feet, and my hips are not moving much. Think about feet together, toes pointed. After I finish my kips, I'm going into my scap pull-ups. So it's vertical, up and down. I should not move forward and backward on this one. I should move vertical on the scap pull-ups. After we get through a couple rounds of that, start warming up for the clean. So in Sugar WOD, all there is listed is 3 reps, 3 singles on the clean. And the way you should execute this is a fairly long progression of warm-ups, but all small sets, okay? So if you need in the beginning to do, say, a set of 4, that's fine. But no one in the warm-ups for a 1 rep max clean should be doing sets of 6 or 8, all right? That is just, we get into barbell cycling and we get into a lot of bouncing off the ground, a lot of bad positioning on the eccentric because of fatigue, okay? So whenever we're training for a single high rep or high weight clean or high percentage clean, we need to be taking our time at the bottom. We need to be intentional about our setup process, right? And then executing 1, 2, or 3 reps is plenty. And then as you get up higher into like the 80+% range, absolutely no more than 1 rep, okay? Don't be doing doubles. That is like, if you want to practice for the CrossFit Games or the Open, it's all going to be moderate weight until you get to like the regionals or the quarterfinal, semifinal range anyway, all right? So for today, it is meant to be a find the maximum weight as opposed to, you know, let's practice barbell cycling. Very different energy demands, very different technique demands actually also, okay? So set up for the clean. Feet are underneath the hips. Toes can be pointed out a little bit. Bar is in the grounded position, and in this setup position, I want to see knees projecting forward of the forearms, eyes up, and a nice tight lumbar arch right here. You're gonna feel this in the quads, right, on the front side of the leg because my hips are much lower because I'm trying to get my torso upright as soon as possible from the bottom of the clean, right? And from there, the bar slides up the shins, back ankle stays constant until the bar gets to my knees, and then I'm driving my knees back underneath the bar in order to get my torso upright. Full, aggressive, explosive hip extension at the top with my elbows straight, and then as that bar's floating, weightless in front of me, my feet move out to that hip width or shoulder width position. Slide the bar up my body as the elbows come in front, catch, and stand, okay? And that was the squat clean, slow motion obviously, and then the power clean, I just wouldn't squat at the bottom, I'd catch in the power position. Any way you slice it, we are doing ground to shoulders for a single maximal rep. hang-ups on this one. Just watch out for catching it with your elbows low and letting the elbows contact the thighs, right? That can really damage your wrists if you have a heavy weight on the bar. So always be ready to punch that bar out and shoot it away from you if you need to, right? When we do the clean, a lot of times one of my other tactics is if let's say I'm trying 265 and I miss it 2 or 3 times in a row, my tactic is I'll go backwards, right? I'll go to like something I know I can hit, like say 235, and I'll get one good rep of that so my nervous system kind of remembers what it's like to catch a heavy clean, and then go back up to that 265. That's another little trick or tip that I have for maxing out. All right, when you're done with max effort cleans, we're gonna do a pull-up benchmark, right? So pull-up, the ones I have listed are either max rep kipping pull-ups or max weighted pull-up. And anything in that range is appropriate or acceptable for what you can do today, all right? So if you can't do any unassisted pull-ups, then it doesn't make sense to try to do a weighted pull-up, right? We don't do banded weighted pull-ups, right? Similarly, if I really care about how much my weighted pull-up is, then I would not do my kipping pull-ups first and then try to do a 1 rep max weighted pull-up. So whatever it is that you are more targeted towards, that's the one I want you to lean into today. Let's say it's like I know where my band's supposed to go, I know which band I use, and I just want to see how many reps I can get at that assistance level. That is totally fine. Ring rows. Let's see how many ring rows I can get with the heel of my palm touching my rib cage and no motion in my torso until my arms fatigue and fail, right? That is a very acceptable benchmark for a body weight pulling exercise for high reps and moderate resistance, okay? Or let's say, how low can I get the rings and still touch my heel of my hand to my rib cage, right? That would kind of be like a 1 rep max ring row, right? So think about this, open your mind up a little bit to different methods that we can use to test out the different athletic capabilities of body weight pulling, right? If you're gonna do both of them, I recommend doing the weighted pull-up first and the kipping pull-ups second, okay? That would be the one that has the least impact on the other one. I would not do the high rep kipping pull-ups first and then try to do a weighted pull-up second, all right? You can do it, you're just gonna have a much higher impact on that weighted pull-up by the kipping pull-ups first, right? And that is it for today. Oh, also, another one would be max reps strict pull-ups. That would be a totally fine alternate, right, to do instead of kipping pull-ups. Anyway you slice it, body weight pulling exercise for the second one, and we're testing out both the maximum strength and our stamina on the second one. That's it for today. See you guys tomorrow.